at one point with the cancer, I was like everybody else, scared as shit. Sorry, just terrified. I was getting gas with my husband, and he was getting gas, and we were at this American store called Costco, which is a giant warehouse. And I got a call from my doctor saying that you have cancer. And she was sort of friendly with me, so she was really sorry. And I just felt really numb, like an unbearable, terrified. Yeah, it was pretty terrifying. I wasn't a very good mommy. I couldn't look at my children without I just couldn't look at them, because I couldn't even think straight. I wasn't there. Some imposter took over my body, and I was so devastated. I had been a very much stay-at-home mom, but I was so devastated. I told my husband, I'm really no good here. I need to just go to this wheatgrass place, which was my way anyways, but I just needed to, I wasn't really there anyway. Sometime, I think 3 or 4 years ago, my oldest son was the real sensitive one. Like if I said to him, I have cancer, or something about cancer, he'd say, Mom, don't talk like that. So you feel kind of lonely because you're not allowed to talk about what's really going on for you. Plus you want to protect your children. And so something happened where that boy, through his college, he went and volunteered at this camp that was for children whose parents were dying or they were affected by cancer in some way. And he got what we call in the principles an insight. And he came back from the camp and he said, Mom, you can talk to me about cancer or just tell me anything. And he's the really smart one in the family, so he's good to take to the doctors when they're telling you all this jibber jabber. And I took him with me to a doctor's appointment, and the doctor's appointment wasn't good news. And we kind of held it together at the doctor's office. And then we got in the car, and we both just cried. And it was sad, but it was such a beautiful moment that I got to share with my son by seeing that I don't have to protect him and I don't have to be alone and he'll be resilient, he'll be okay. And even though that moment was sad, it was so rich and full of love to sit there and be able to cry with your son together, which before it would have been impossible to do. So it's really fun to have that story with other people with cancer that are trying to protect their children. Want to ask about death or something? My little 16-year-old told me the other day. He's like, Mom, I was feeling a little afraid that day. And he somehow caught on to it. And he said, Mom, you don't have to be afraid of dying. And I just looked at him, I'm like, really? Why? I mean, I really was asking. And he said something to me like, well, right now, you're not dying. Like the future you, when you're into that future where you're dying, you'll be okay then. You don't have to worry about that now. That's not happening now. And almost like I'd heard some of my teachers say that, your future will take care of your future. Like, it's not that he doesn't get upset from now and then, but he just saw that so clearly. And this 16-year-old kid explained that to me. And I'm like, really? And he just really saw what I said before, that this present moment is the most thing. This is alive, not what might happen in the future. And that's super helpful and hopeful, because then I can be here to enjoy my kid. It's so funny. It's you and me right here, right now. That's all there is.